With the recent addition of sukuna and Jujutsu Shenanigans, we now have the ability to turn on overpowered movesets. With this setting, you can use the strongest of history character in your private server. But that made me think about something. Why would Z add a whole new setting for just one character? Which then made me think that there might be more overpowered characters in the future. And who might those characters be? I have 3 guesses of characters that would be considered overpowered. And honestly, that's just being safe, because there are endless characters in JJK that would be considered overpowered if they were to be lore accurate. The first guess that I got is Toji Fushiguro. Toji is the first person ever in the series to have a heavenly restriction, and that makes him absolutely broken. His nickname is the Sorcerer Killer for a reason. If he were to be added, he would have insane speed and strength, because Strongest of History is already bigger and faster than everybody, but I don't think he has a crazy M1 boost. And I think to balance out the lack of moveset that he might potentially have, he could give him insane M1, like maybe 5 punches and they're dead. You should also get a lot of durability in this mode. I mean, he fought off against Satoru Gojo. Now that was a high school version of him, but he still was able to tank many attacks that would take out almost all the people in the series. And think about this, what if he were to have different M1s? And I say that because Toji is a character who's very based on his curse tools. For example, you could have Playful Cloud. That curse tool actually reflects the person's physical strengths, so therefore making them stronger when using it. You could even add something like the Soul Split Katana, which ignores physical resistance in order to slice through any soul of a person or object. That's already heat, but he still has 2 other tools that he uses, and the most famous one being Inverted Spear of Heaven. And we all know that he uses this against Gojo to bypass his infinity, because it allows you to nullify all curse techniques on contact. I don't know how you would go about this in game. Maybe if somebody were to do an attack on you and you M1 with it, it would just disrupt their attack. I don't know really, or maybe it could bypass certain things that certain characters have in game. And the last one is an underrated shout, but it's the Chain of 1,000 Miles, which can extend forever as long as the user keeps the end of the chain from being seen. Now that last part of it doesn't really matter because it's a Roblox game, but imagine you had like a pull attack where somebody super far away, you could just grab onto them and pull them back into you. I mean, that sounds unrealistic, but when you really think about it, Strongest of History, his world cutting slash goes through the entire map. So I don't think something like that would be too broken or overpowered. But I think Toji would be a fire overpowered character to add, especially when you think that you could have him face off against another overpowered character. That would make for such cool moments and videos and ideas, and I think that would just be fire. The next character I feel like is most definitely gonna be added, and that is Unsealed Gojo. Now, yeah, we already have Gojo in the game, but we already have Sukuna in the game technically too. But this would be an extremely lore accurate Gojo. You should obviously get the same boost that Strongest of History has now, as in speed and size or whatever. In the anime, Gojo's punches are not normal punches. All of his attacks are actually infused with his blue. That's why he was able to make Hakari and Yuta throw up just by punching them. Now, I didn't really get into this with Toji, but what about the R ability? I couldn't think anything special for him, so I skipped it. But Gojo has the 6 eyes. And imagine your R ability allowed you to see where everyone was in the map. Now that wouldn't be something too broken or too overpowered, and some might even think it's useless, but it would be so cool to know exactly where everybody is and to be able to keep track of them, because most likely a lot of players would be attacking you. Obviously after that, you would have to add his max versions of all his simple attacks, being blue, red, hollow purple, all those, and I think they would have to get the same treatment as Sukuna and just be absolutely destructive. Imagine a red on the scale of this attack that he did. Now Toji doesn't have this, so I didn't bring it up. What about domain expansion? I have 2 ideas for domain expansion. First being the 0.2 second domain expansion that he did in Shibuya. That would be a crazy move to have, and not as overpowered as you think, because obviously you would need to have your ult bar active, just like Sukuna's domain, which is broken. So we kind of have to take game balancing and push it aside, because we're talking about overpowered characters. A 0.2 second domain would be insane, but Gojo also has the ability to spam domains. Most sorcerers can only do 1 domain a day before they're completely run out, but Gojo and Sukuna can spam that. Now I'm not saying make it absolutely broken, but Gojo doesn't have an open domain expansion like Sukuna does, and to give him something broken might be to allow him to open up multiple domains back to back. But that's just an idea. And now the R ability could be 6 eyes, but the R ability could also be chant. Just like Sukuna's, Gojo does chants in the anime that allow him to either boost his attacks or do different variants of them, and these chants are usually required for him to do his 200% 200% hollow purple. If we're gonna make an overpowered version of Gojo, he has to have 200% hollow purple. I don't know how the charge up would work, and I don't know if it should be interruptible, but that hollow purple should be able to take out basically a good chunk of the map. Way more than Sukuna's waffle dismantle net, and just insurmountably huge, because in the manga, he's taking out buildings with that. Another thing that he should probably have is a true unlimited hollow purple. I'm talking about the hollow purple nuke that he does in the manga, which you can actually do in game right now. But that one takes out a large area, but not really as much as it should. Z should make it like really hard to be able to set this up, but in some way, shape, or form, he should be able to do a nuke that takes out just as much damage as Sukuna's open domain. And then another thing that's not talked about a lot, but they have it in other Battlegrounds games, Infinity. Gojo should definitely have an attack or an ability or some way to activate Infinity so that people literally can't damage him. I know that seems like way too broken, but obviously it wouldn't last forever, and who knows how Z could implement that. And the last thing he could probably add would maybe be a Black Flash. I mean, Sukuna has also done a Black Flash, and obviously he doesn't have it, but maybe Z can make it in a way that if you hit a Black Flash, then you're able to do other things with the character. I don't know. I'm just spitballing. I'm just brainstorming. You don't gotta agree with me. If you disagree with anything that I said in this video so far, comment it down below and I'll respond to you in a reasonable manner. Before we get into the last person I want to suggest, I want to give an honorable mention. Z said that he would never add this character, but take that with a grain of salt because he changes his mind a lot. The character that I'm talking about is Shinjuku Yuji, the Yuji that faces off against Sukuna in the final battle of the series, and he would just be utterly broken. I'm not gonna lie. I'll just quickly spitball what I think he would have. You would have to give him speed and strength boosts. He might even have black flashes on almost every attack. He would have blood manipulation like piercing blood, supernova, maybe even the ability to reattach limbs, sort of like this attack in game. He would also have Sukuna's shrine. It would be a very garbage version of his though, because he has like a trash cleave and a weak spider web. He also has a touch dismantle. He could even have simple domain to combat against everybody else's broken domains. And he himself has a domain expansion. Now we don't know exactly how it works, so I don't think Z would add it, but it is something that is possible and lower accurate if he were to. And now on to the last character I'm suggesting, which is Yuta Akotsu. Yuta is one of the coolest characters in the game, and I'm sure he's gonna be added to the base character set. But an overpowered version of him with Rika would be insane. I think he should get like a slight speed boost or strength maybe. He's not really on par to Sukuna and Gojo, but he is also crazy, so I guess he should get that. He might even be able to switch his M1s between his regular fist and his katana. And then when we talk about moveset, Yuta can do almost everybody's attack in the series, bro. His whole thing is that he's a copycat. I don't know if Z would implement it by being able to copy the attacks of people that are actively fighting you, or if he just gives him the attacks that people have from the series. To list some of them, he has Cursed Speech from Inumaki, he has Sky Manipulation, he has the Granite Powers, he can even summon Shikigami, he has Jacob's Ladder, he has Charles' Future Sight, he also has Sukuna's Cleave and Dismantles, and lastly, a very cool idea that I thought of is Brain Swap. Not the game mode, but Kenjaku's ability to hop from body to body. Now, in game, you shouldn't be able to just go from one person to the next to the next to the next, but imagine if you're the boss and people are fighting you in the game mode and you get really low, and boom, you press brain swap and target to a player and jump into their body. Now, it wouldn't replenish your health or do anything crazy, but you would just literally take over them to give you one last chance of beating everybody. That would be really cool and make for some funny moments in the game. Like, imagine somebody's beating you up as you're an overpowered character in roulette, and a whole bunch of people are attacking you, and somebody gets their awakening and you're getting really low, and then boom, you brain swap into their body, take them over, and start fighting everybody else. That would be literally insane, bro. Yuta also has a Black Flash, but I don't think there's anything super cool that he would need to add. And then we could talk about his awakening. Now, Yuta does have a domain expansion, but I don't think it's a very practical one that you could add to the game. I mean, he could definitely do it, and he would definitely be able to pull it off really well, but I think the awakening should probably have more to do with Rika, since she's absolutely broken. She could be beside you like Divine Dog and attack other people. There's just like endless possibilities with Rika, and she's just so overpowered. She can carry his cursed tools, she can heal people, she can also destroy people, and she's utterly broken and one of his biggest assets that he has in the anime. So, which overpowered character do you think will be added next? If it wasn't one of my suggestions, then comment it down below, because you never know, Z might see that. If you want to see a full breakdown of all the similarities and differences between Strongest of History and Heian Sukuna from JJK, then click right here to go watch that. And subscribe, bruh! The Mafia and I are trying to hit 100k subs before the summertime, and that would be really cool if you're a part of the journey this early on. So just swipe up and click that button, you know what I'm saying? Millz Mafia out. Yeah. they just literally killed me. Why is there zombies coming from behind us? I didn't know they could fucking come from behind us.
No way, I just hit you! They just hit you! I